Hey folks, John with Complete Technology Solutions, your friend in the computer business. Problem, I have to keep an entire game system and a TV and other accessories running during a craft show, gun show, or trade show with no power. What do we do? Here we go. So guys, I've been trying to figure this out for quite a while. I did a couple of tests on the retro game systems that I build. And in case you guys forgot what that was, I'll throw a link up here in the description for you. Basically, the system itself plus a brand new 32-inch LCD screen is pulling about 40 watt hours, which means that I have to be able to sustainably run this at a craft show for an average of 8 to 10 hours with no power. In other words, power stripped directly to a generator in order to keep everything running. So our friends over at Steelite came up with a solution for us. This is the Prymax Steelite 1200W. Now, a little bit of basic math. If we're pulling 40 watt hours, we're going to average, we'll say 60. So we'll go way over the edge. And we're going to try to pull it for at least 8 to 10 hours. This generator should have enough power to get us through. Let's crack it open and see what it looks like. All right, guys, so I'm not going to lie to you. I am new to the whole solar generator thing, and this does support solar inputs. Now, obviously, we're not going to be using solar on it because you can't exactly put up panels at a craft show. Well, I guess you could outdoors, but not indoors. So let's see what we got here. All I know is that when I talked to them, they said this is the one that will do the job. And I'm going to try to keep Stumpy focused in here so we can see what's in the box. All right. Golly, guys, this is a box in a box. Let's turn that over. Ugh, thing is heavy. All right. And there it is. Get rid of that. Check it out, guys. So this is the Prymax 1400 watt. Now this says 1200 watt. I'm going to verify that. Pure sine wave, which means you're getting clean power, which is another big thing when you're dealing with game systems. But one thing that really attracted me to this was the digital readout on this thing, so you can actually see exactly where everything is at. And you can see it's actually intended for camping, so I think that'll do what we need. All right, let's crack her open and see what we got in here. I am liking it so far, and I haven't even opened it. All right, right on the top here, we've got a user's manual. And guys, that is a super, super thin user's manual, so nothing to this thing. And we got a couple boxes at the top here. Crack this one open. We've got what looks like a charger cable for your car, which is great. By the way, that is a standard HP style barrel connector on there, which is pretty cool. And we've got a direct plug for AC power from the wall. So if you're traveling, this is great. Charge it off your car. If you have a wall to plug into, this is great. Plug it into the wall. Pretty cool. All right, next box we got in here. Looks like this is the power brick. So that's the brick that actually comes with it. Once again, exact same barrel connector. So this is for the wall to charge it off AC. All right, get rid of a couple of boxes here. And get to the generator. Oh, it's got a handle on it. I already love it, guys. Golly. Let's get the box out of here. Okay, I'm embellishing a bit. It's not that heavy. That's probably 25, 30 pounds tops. All right. Let's get this thing out of the plastic here and see. It's funny because the box makes it look a whole lot bigger than what it actually is here. And guys, check that out. That is very nice. I love the smell of fresh electronics in the morning, don't you? All right. So, as you can see, we've got our, these are the inputs. Okay, so you've got the input for either direct charging, or this is for solar, if you want to charge off solar panels. You've got several different outputs as far as the USB goes. You got Type-C, USB 1, and the QS. This is actually the speed charger, along with multiple plugs for plugging in. Turning it over to the side here. You've got a 12-volt adapter right here. And back's pretty straight. And you've got two fans on this. Now, guys, this is something I was pretty happy to see, so that it actually has active cooling. These things do generate some heat. That's a fact. Now, turning onto the back here, underneath that 12-volt, I noticed this is actually where you would plug in your solar. So if you're going to charge off your solar, and it does have a limitation on the voltage range, 25 volts and 5 amps to 20 amps. So 25 volts is most standard solar panels these days, so you can charge it directly off the solar panel, which is pretty cool. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. I want to go ahead and I want to fire this thing up, and let's see what it looks like. Be right back. All right, guys, and firing it up. And as you can see, right now we have 70% power, which is very interesting to me, guys. That means they ship this thing mostly charged, which most people don't do. So, all right, 70% power. We got no draw on it currently coming in. We also have nothing coming into it. So normally you would have voltage coming in, voltage going out, but we don't actually have that right now. So right now it is saying 99 hours because obviously there's no draw on it. Tell you what, I'm going to reposition here, guys. I'm going to put the TV, the game system, and all of the accessories on this and connect it to it. Let's see what kind of voltage we're getting. Here we go. All right, guys, so as you can see, I've got everything set up on the table here. Excuse it's kind of a little convoluted, but I'll kind of give you a rundown of what we're doing. We've got our regular 32-inch TV over here. Now, this is a generic Walmart on 32-inch TV. I did this intentionally because it's kind of a power sipper. We've got our retro game system right here. By the way, if you want one of these things, I will have a link to it down there. I'll have my email down there. It's going to be on my Etsy shop. You can get one. And we're coming up on Christmas, so I'll be running some sales on them too. Now, here's where it's convoluted. I've got these two devices plugged into a power strip. Now, showing Stumpy here, I'm doing this for a reason. So these two devices are connected to the strip. The strip is actually connected to a voltage meter going into another power strip. This strip is the one that's going with me to the gun shows or craft shows or whatever I'm actually doing. And we're connected to AC power here. All right, now let's go ahead and we're going to turn on the generator. There we go. And by the way, guys, if you hit that light once, it turns on a safety light. Second time turns on 2 lights. Third time's turned on like a strobe light, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, now we've got to press AC power and turn it on. There we go. So we have AC power turned on now. Let's turn on our power strip. There we go. And as you can see, we're still pulling 0, which is good. Turn on our power strip here. There we go. All right, let's power up our devices and see what this thing is actually going to pull. So we're pulling up that one and powering up the TV. Okay, so as you can see, 63 watts. Now we're going to let this go ahead and boot in here, guys. I won't make you watch this. What I will do is I'm going to bring Stumpy over here, and I'm going to focus in on that screen so you can see how many watts we're actually pulling. All right. There we go. Okay, so the game system should be coming up. I'm going to connect up a controller to our game system down here. And let's see what we end up pulling. I'm willing to bet we're going to end up pulling right at 50 watts, and that's going to be our average. Now, it's interesting because this is showing, hang on a second here. Let's go to, that's amps watts. This is showing 49.6. This is showing 48, 49, 47. So really they are kind of jiving as far as the wattage that's being pulled here. All right, the game system is almost booted up. Now, if we are pulling 47 watts or 46 watts, it should give us runtime right here of 11 hours. That is exactly what we were looking for. So running the full game system. Now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump into a game. And I'm just going to run the game for a while. And let's see if it actually puts any kind of a load on this thing. I'm willing to bet that it probably will. Hang on one second. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to launch a Windows game. And let's play something that would require quite a bit of forces here. Let's go to Stronghold Legends, because I know for a fact that that one uses a lot of power. All right, here we go. And launching it now. Here we go. Now, guys, I'm going to, as you can see, we're still pulling 45 watt. We're going to say 50. We're going to round it out to 50 watt. And there we go. Let's go ahead and got to get our keyboard connected up to our game system here. Which, by the way, guys, with all the Windows and DOS games that I've got on here, you will definitely need to connect the keyboard up to it. And this game is actually pretty system intensive, guys. So it ought to put a good weight on the system. And we'll see what we're doing. Now, you guys, all I want you to do is keep an eye on this voltage here. This is what's key. And if it never fluctuates much around or above that 50, then this 11-hour range or rate is actually going to be correct, and this is going to work out perfectly for what we want. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and here we go. I'm going to juice up the game right now. For those who don't know, Stronghold Legends is by far one of my favorite games. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys, so here's what we're going to do. I am going to cut this right here. I'm going to play this for 40 minutes, okay? So 40 minutes. And what I want to do is basically, and I'm going to turn stuff here so you can see what I'm doing. This is Stronghold Legends, okay? So this is the game that I'm actually going to be playing for 40 minutes, and then we're going to come back and let's see what the power level is at. I'm just going to let it run the whole time. We're going to run off this power, and I'm going to crank in tons of troops, tons of battles, and let's see what it actually does. So, all right, we'll be right back with you guys here in just a minute. All right, guys, so we're back. Now, admittedly, I cheated a little bit, just a little bit, but I did cheat. Let me tell you what we did. So as you can see, we still have Stumpy aimed down here at this. This game system has now been running, and I've been running through the first 2 levels of it consistently, constantly, without fail, maximum troops, high graphics, everything, for over an hour now. An hour. So instead of our 45-minute control, we did it at an hour. Now, if you guys will recall, we were at 70% when we turned this on. As you can see, we are still at 64%, meaning that we pulled 6% in an entire hour of heavy gameplay. Just extrapolate that out. That means that we're going to get at least 12 to 15 hours out of this thing on heavy gameplay. So if I'm playing 4K movies or something like that, we may see a little bit more or a little bit less. Either way, that generator is going to do what we need it to do. Now, the fact that this is actually doing, and you can see, guys, we have been consistently at 49 volts, or excuse me, watts, and 49 watts here. It never seems to change. So no matter what I'm doing over here, that seems to be pretty consistent. Now, that's a testament to 2 things. The energy sipping of that screen for sure, but the energy savings on this little system that I sell. So once again, if you're interested in that, I got links for you. We'll get you hooked up. Guys, what do we think of the Prymax, man? 1200 watt. It obviously works. It's got a lot of power, a ton of outputs on it, a ton of inputs on it. It's got flashlights built into it. It'll charge 12 volt, AC or DC. It does it all. I have 0 complaints about this unit. I'm going to throw links to this down in the description field so you guys can check them out. But I would highly suggest that I like this one so far. Have a fantastic week, guys. I've got another really big one coming up for you. I know I promised something for that. And that video's next. And we have another PC coming up that they just shipped in to me. You guys aren't going to believe this thing. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.